Should you drink coffee every single day for peak energy levels and productivity? Buonasera everyone, it's Coach Ábris here, and today we're going to talk about every high performers and entrepreneurs and athletes and autists like me favorite drug. No, it's not cocaine. No, it's not something else, not something mental health related. This is caffeine and espresso shots specifically. Okay, so should you drink it every day? Will it move the needle forward? Will it actually help you with workout performance? Will it help you with your health, or will it destroy it in the long term? So let's find out. Meanwhile, I'm sipping on my espresso. So this is amazing, by the way. So you might have heard many different opinions, many conflicting views about the matter, but what really weighs into the equation is that caffeine by itself is not a boosting drug. So everybody is being psyoped into, okay, caffeine gives you more energy, but no, caffeine just takes the tiredness away. So when you see these over-caffeinated booster products, mental focus products, pre-workout supplements that you might take before going to the gym and stuff like that, what they forget to mention is that how caffeine works is that not that it gives you more energy, but it just presses down your tiredness. So there's this hormone called adenosine, which makes you feel a little bit groggy, a little bit sleepy, a little bit tired. And what caffeine does is that it suppresses adenosine, not adenosine itself, but the receptors. So it makes you numb to adenosine. And this is why you feel boosted when you drink it. And when it comes to, for example, fat loss purposes, so if your goal is to lose fat, actually caffeine doesn't help you lose fat, but it enhances your metabolism. So indirectly, caffeine helps you. Caffeine helps you a lot with fat loss, only if you just think about it. It helps you burn more calories per hour. My strategy about this, and what most of my clients use who have their heart health in check and do regular walks every single day, right? So they kind of have a healthy cardiovascular health and basically a pretty good endurance after a couple of months of training, right? So we don't get started right away with overstimulating yourself or like doing crazy cardio workouts or anything like that, but we build up this resilience, build up this cardiovascular system step by step. And once your resting heart rate is at a kind of normal level, which is usually like between 60 to 100 for most adults, I think this range is way too wide, and the closer it is to 60 or maybe a little bit below that, the better. But returning to caffeine. So what I use and what majority of my clients are using when it comes to coffee consumption, that they have one little cup of coffee every single hour, every second hour, until we get to 6 to 8 hours within bedtime. Why? Because even though in small doses it helps you a lot with losing fat, with losing weight, as I said before, indirectly enhancing your metabolism at any age, any shape, any size, right? So it's not like you're too old so you can't change your metabolism. You definitely can. So let me just show you an example. So if you think you are kind of like too old, or you're out of the age group who is able to achieving massive health transformations, then I want to encourage you and show you a counter argument for this, showing my 46-year-old client Devin, who went from 22% body fat to sub 9% body fat completely naturally, without taking any kind of steroids, TRT or anything like that, and we didn't even count calories. So let me show you this absolute unit, this beast. Once I find it on my phone, it's kind of difficult to navigate, you know, in between so many amazing client transformations. But yes, here we go. Here's Devin. To my frequent viewers, you might have seen this guy before. So when he started, he was 45 years old. Okay? He was kind of out of shape. Who cares? You can easily get back to this shape, or If you haven't been in this shape before, you can easily build this shape for yourself with the right systems in place. And does coffee have a place in it? Well, for Devin, not that much. He had some espressos here and there. But if you struggle with your metabolism, I highly recommend drinking either black coffee or green tea. So some kind of caffeine into your system to boost your metabolism in small doses on a regular basis, but you cut it off at, let's say, 3 or 4 p.m. Why? Because caffeine has this kind of half-life, so-called half-life. So the amount of time that it takes for the caffeine to reduce its amount in your bloodstream to its half. So let's say your caffeine intake so far today is 100 milligrams, which is kind of like on the higher end of the normal, right? That means that in 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, there will still be 50 milligrams of caffeine circulating in the bloodstream. Why is that a problem with sleep? Because it suppresses your melatonin, your sleep hormone production. So you definitely want to avoid that, and just be sure that, okay, even if you are a coffee connoisseur, frequent coffee drinker, you just cut it off at a certain point of time, 6 to 8 hours within bedtime. So by the time you go to bed, it won't bother you that much. Will it bother you? Well, not that much, but to a certain extent, yes. So this is one of the cons of consuming caffeine on a regular basis. Does it help you with energy and productivity? Well, it gives you a temporary boost in focus due to the lack of tiredness, due to the lack of adenosine. Not the lack of adenosine, but the numbness of the adenosine receptor, so you don't feel the adenosine. So yes, temporarily it helps you focus. It helps you really concentrate on one single aspect of your work. But if you feel that you're a little bit jittery or anxious, and probably caffeine is not your go-to productivity drug, I would suggest some alternatives instead. So for example, there is ginseng, there is rhodiola. These are two adaptogenic herbs which do not contain stimulants, but still they will help you enhance your brain performance and also your physical performance when it comes to working out, doing some exercise, or doing a cardio workout. But when it comes to caffeine as a pre-workout supplement, okay, it's great. It will boost you up a little bit, but if you want that full pump, if you want to experience muscle strength to its full extent, and you want to really give it all in your workout, or simply it's just a day when you just don't have it and you don't feel like doing it, but you know you should be doing it because you have a goal in mind, a clear and specific goal that, okay, I want to lose 45 pounds until August 2024. What do I do, right? If you have this every single day in your brain, and this is your primary focus, then you have to do those workouts, right? But when you lack the drive, what do you actually do, right? If caffeine is not the only solution. So the alternatives in this case are certain types of amino acids like L-arginine or L-citrulline. My personal favorite is citrulline, not only because this is to be found in watermelons, but they help you boost the nitric oxide levels in your blood. So in layman's terms, more nutrients will go to your muscles in less time. So you will have an insane blood flow, an amazing pump. And for the older guys out here, 40, 50, 60 year olds, it also helps you boost your sexual performance and the quality and the length of your erections. It has been used as an aphrodisiac for thousands of years, not citrulline, of course, granulated, but watermelon itself. So that's why I say eat watermelon before your workout, slam a coffee, like slam a espresso shot, maybe a double espresso, and you will be spinning, my brother. And another thing that you want to consider is electrolytes. So caffeine by default is dehydrating you. But if you want to really perform on your workouts, you want to be hydrated. And the same goes for your brain. If you want your brain to perform to its full extent, probably you will need some glucose and some electrolytes. Glucose is sugar coming from, let's say, raw honey, fruits, various different fruits. So I encourage the consumption of natural sugars. Sugar is not bad for you. And on the other hand, there are electrolytes like potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, and so on, which will give you energy and contribute to your heart health, bone health, joint health, and the overall hydration of your body and your organs. So not just your muscles, also your brain, also different internal organs, even your intestines, everything. So because your body is made of more than 70% water, you might as well consider being hydrated. And not just through the consumption of water, because if you drink coffee and a large bottle of water, guess what will happen? Probably you will sweat and piss it out, because it flushes through your system. So you actually want that water to be pulled into your system, to be pulled into your body, to pull into your muscles and perform, because this is what will give you energy. So right, the perfect pre-workout mix is not just a shot of espresso, but oh, sorry for my terrible pronunciation. My Italian friends will kill me if I say espresso again. So espresso shot, right? Or Americano, like if you like the long ones. It's okay. We don't judge you. And you eat some watermelon on the side. You have your electrolytes. Like watermelon has a lot of electrolytes as well, so you don't necessarily have to take an electrolyte supplement. So don't misunderstand me. I do not endorse the overconsumption of supplements, but when it makes sense, when it's relevant and it's more convenient to take a pill or some kind of a powder rather than eating a bowl of fruits, then go for it, man. And the other thing I wanted to say is, what else? One type of electrolyte which helps you a lot with your pumps and the quality of your workout and the strength that you can actually put into those exercises and the intensity of your workout, because that's one of the most important factors. If you don't train intense enough, you're not going to make the progress that you want to be making. So you want to train intense and you want to train rigorously, and sodium helps you with that. So a mix of half a liter of water with a pinch of Himalayan salt in it, because that's amazing, very, very good bioavailable source of sodium, okay, and other electrolytes as well. So water, Himalayan salt, shot of espresso, right? Watermelon, some other fruits for some extra electrolytes, right? And then you can be actually present, not only on workouts, but on any kind of events which will require your full presence, right? Not just a conference at your company, not just a very important meeting, very important deal to be closed. No. Also, when you spend time with your loved ones, when you spend time with your family, right? You want to be there mentally, you want to be there focused, and you want to be there physically too, performing at your absolute best. So this is why I recommend don't rely on coffee alone. And some of you have this kind of bad habit that you wake up and right upon waking, you slam a cup of coffee. Why is it useful or why is it harmful for you? So when you wake up, that's when you have the highest stress levels. That's when you have the highest cortisol stress hormone spike in your body. And caffeine only enhances it. So that's the problem, that you want to be cautious with it, because right upon waking it might not be the best idea. If you want to avoid jitters, anxiety, and those side effects of caffeine like heart palpitations that are not quite pleasant. So only consume this if you are more or less healthy in the cardiovascular meaning, right? And if you have already waited like 60 to 90 minutes after you woke up. So, okay, but how do I energize myself if I wake up and I haven't had my cup of coffee, right? Many of you say that you can't live without coffee and this is your blood group basically, and you just can't function properly without it. I can completely understand, but a viable alternative for you is just first of all adapting this kind of attack mindset, that whenever you open your eyes, you attack the day. And the other thing is that, because I know mindset won't help without tangible actions that you could take. So let's combine the two. So you have the attack mindset and you do the Vuasi protocol in the morning. W-U-A-S-I. What is this? Wake up and send it. This is it. How do we send it when we wake up, right? So if you want to go full send into the day and conquer all of the different obstacles and close all the deals. Sorry for, coffee makes me speak everything all over the place. So if you want to close those deals, right? If you want to make it to those appointments with your full presence, if you want to go on that adventure, if you want to crush that workout, if you want to go through the day with full energy, being fully active, right? And you want to make sure that you send it in the morning. You go full send and you wake up and this protocol looks like, okay, you immediately do a set of push-ups until failure. And once you've done that, you feel energized enough to kind of like grab yourself out to the kitchen, drink a glass of sparkling water, a large glass of it, because it helps you regulate your cortisol levels. Okay, some of you might say that it scientifically has not been proven yet, but it has been. So if you want, I can link the study for you. But what really matters is empirical evidence. It helped me and it helped my clients. And I have trained already dozens of entrepreneurs, high performers, people in positions of power where their decisions matter. And when they have a tired brain, well, their decisions might be fucked up. So, guys, if you want to avoid a major economic breakdown or a third world war, you better listen to my advice. Okay, but let's not exaggerate things. Why do I say that this is so important? Because the way you start your day will determine your performance and your feelings for the rest of the day. So most of the health coaches kind of like act like a douchebag when it comes to emotions and feelings. But this is chemistry as well, right? I just can't say that, hey, man up, don't be a pussy. Because then, oh, well, thanks for nothing. Thanks, Ábris. No, I'm not a pussy anymore. What do I do now? Right? It doesn't work like that. So every feeling that you experience, every emotion that you have is a result of the amount and the timing of certain chemicals in your brain. So you want to make sure that these chemicals are as optimal as possible. You want to make sure you had a night of deep and efficient sleep. So for example, your hunger chemicals won't be high. Your satiety chemicals won't be low, right? Your testosterone will be also high, so you get more drive, you get more mojo to go for the day. And also your growth hormone levels will be high. So it will be easier for you to burn fat and build muscle. So all of these chemicals, and there are like thousands more chemicals that matter for your brain and your body health, right? But what really matters is that the way you send it in the morning will determine the way you send the whole day, right? Because in the morning, how you get started, the type of chemicals dominating your mood, dominating your brain, will put its stamp on the whole goddamn day, right? So you want to make sure that you start your morning strong and you send it. So back to the Mythical Protocol, wake up and send it. You do your push-ups, you drink your sparkling water, so you regulate your cortisol levels, you're feeling better, you're kind of like equalize your stomach acid so your tummy won't hurt, right? And you right away start working on something meaningful. You start your deep work session. You go to work or whatever you're doing, right? Whatever your tasks are in the morning, put your highest leverage, your highest ROI tasks to that point of time, right? Get that shit done before noon. Move the needle forward. So you feel good about yourself and you're less likely to start stress snacking, overeating, or staying up late night because you feel like you haven't caught up with all of your tasks. So you won't have an unregulated schedule. So sleep is very important and the way you start your day is very important. So once you've got your sleep dialed in, you can easily get your mornings dialed in and you don't need a 69,420 step ridiculous morning routine to get it going, right? When you see these entrepreneurs on social media doing these complicated morning routines, there are for two reasons. One of the reasons is that they have already sold 3 companies with a combined of $80 million of exit value, and now they can do whatever the fuck they want. It doesn't really matter. They are just building their personal brand because they are aware of the fact that this is the gold of the future, being present online, right? But this is one group. And the other group is that what they are doing is productive procrastination. So they want to show the world how hard they hustle, right? Instead of just doing the work. So just wake up and do what you're supposed to do. Do your push-ups, drink your water, start working on something meaningful, and 60 to 90 minutes into that, have your first coffee, and after that, feel free to dose it equally throughout the day, every 1 or 2 hours until like 3 or 4 p.m. Then you cut it off, so you can make sure that when you go to bed in the evening, you're actually tired. And you can actually fall asleep as fast as possible. So what we do with our clients that we do not accept anything less than closing your eyes and falling asleep right away in less than 15 minutes. If it takes more than 15 minutes, it means that probably you have done something wrong, or something has to be fixed with your brain chemistry or something in your body, right? So this is why we are implementing these habits. This is why we have built out these complex of systems in Demi Cycle Protocol to help you with this. So when you actually go to sleep, you sleep. When you wake up, you're actually awake. You're actually present for the whole day, whatever obstacles life may throw at you, right? You will take them more easily. So if this helps you with being a better father, if it helps you with being a better leader at your company, then why wouldn't you change your habits just a little bit? It just takes a little bit of determination and you can make it happen. And if for you coffee is a part of it, then so be it. If for you coffee and caffeine in general is not a part of it, then do it that way, right? Because I have experimented with this. I have gone cold turkey on caffeine for a month so many times before. Sometimes for just a few days, sometimes for weeks. But yeah, it has happened a couple of times before that I went cold turkey for a month. Yeah, I had withdrawals for like 3 or 4 days. And then my brain got completely cleared. I could focus again. And I discovered the alternatives like rhodiola and ginseng. And also, some people might consider ashwagandha to be in this category as well, because that's also an adaptogenic herb, but you really should remember that you want to experiment with these before saying the conclusions. For example, I have taken ashwagandha 4 to 5 grams per day, and all I've noticed is that my certain receptors in my brain just got numb. So I felt like my feelings are not as intense as they used to be before. Yes, my stress levels, my cortisol has decreased. I also noticed a little bit of increase in testosterone levels, but to be honest, that was back then already high, so the difference wasn't that big. But for some people, they reported that ashwagandha helped them to get more energetic and focused, right? So if that helps you, do that. So you can go for alternatives like adaptogenic herbs, or you can stick with your espresso. So at the end of the day, you do not need coffee or any form of caffeine to be productive and to stay at the top of your energy levels, of your work performance, of your physical performance. So you do not need it, but it might help, and it might not help in the way that you thought about it, right? So as we have dissected, caffeine is not the best pre-workout supplement. There are other like amino acids, electrolytes, and certain types of sugars that help you better, right? And we have also discussed that, okay, caffeine might not be the best mental drug or mental stimulant, but we have discussed the alternatives. So if you like the taste of it and you are actually drinking quality coffee, you know, sourced from a reliable organic supplier, then I'm all in for that, because I am also a fellow coffee connoisseur. So I really appreciate if you also like coffee, but just make sure you don't get addicted to it. But it's a personal experience. I've been a caffeine addict at a very young age. I was 18 years old preparing for bench press competitions, and I would have like 600 milligrams per day. That was when I had those crazy heart palpitations, and I was like, okay, now it's time to stop. And I was looking for alternatives. I couldn't find one. I was a young buck without the knowledge that I have today. So this is how I discovered on summer 2020 watermelon, because it was watermelon season. I started just randomly eating it as a dessert after my lunch, and I always train in the early afternoon. I did like these long ass 2-hour powerlifting sessions. So it was way back then, and I was an athlete, of course. That's why I had these ridiculous long training sessions that might not make sense for you, right? None of my clients train more than maximum 50 minutes per session. So just to encourage you, you can get in a phenomenal shape without training long hours. Back then I was just like a fat powerlifter who went all in on being the strongest person that has ever existed on planet Earth. That's what I wanted to become, but now I'm living a much better life and I'm pursuing different goals. But what really matters is that what really broke my caffeine addiction was not going cold turkey. I went cold turkey, it sucked, but watermelon wasn't. because I started eating watermelon before my workouts, and I felt like I never performed this amazing before. I never had this many veins popping up, showing up on my body, and back then I was about 40-50 pounds heavier than I am right now. I was covered in fat, and even through the fat I could see my veins. When I was pumping, I could see more veins than ever before, back then with a high body fat percentage. So if that doesn't convince you that watermelon is, some kind of a wonder plant of the world, then I don't know what will, but I will keep making attempts because I love watermelons, and I have something in the pipeline for you connected to that, but I don't want to spoil the story in advance. So back to coffee. Yes, you can develop an addiction. Yes, that sucks, coming off sucks, but there are so many alternatives, and luckily there are so many helpful resources online, or even one-on-one guidance that can help you with that. Not to quit caffeine, but to replace it either permanently or temporarily. So if you're a person who wants to get more energetic, optimize your sleep, and you want that to be suitable to your busy schedule, to your business, or to your high-performing job and the family that you're providing for, then I'm one of the people who offers personalized guidance with that, meanwhile getting you in the best shape and energy levels of your life. So if you're one of these people and you are ready to be committed, you're ready to get started, and you're ready to sacrifice as little as 2 hours out of your week to make this happen, then feel free to go to the description and book a free call with us, and let's see how we can make a game plan for you that will get you there guaranteed, while not having to say no to your favorite foods, or not having to count calories, or waste your time in hour-long gym sessions. So if you're one of these people and you don't want to procrastinate anymore, and you're ready to make a decision, you're ready to make a commitment, then book a free call below. If you are not ready to make a commitment yet, or you feel like your mindset is not strong enough to commit to a change, then please don't book a call with us. Let's respect each other's time. I respect your point of view, you respect my point of view as well. And if you generally find this video useful, and you've already started maybe implementing a couple of tips from here, or you are a fellow coffee connoisseur, then please press the like button and subscribe. Share this with your fellow coffee connoisseurs, or your family members, or your team members, colleagues, employees, so whoever you think it would be useful for. And don't get me wrong, I'm also friends with a couple of coffee addicts. I'm just trying to be a good influence on you all. So guys, thanks for watching, and cheers. Buonasera.